Hi neighbors, welcome back to I Reckon So Farm. I'm Diane and this is my husband Paul. Paul's a fisherman and we've been fishing together for 54 years. He's been taking me along in his granddad's boat and I've learned a little bit about fishing in those years, but really Paul just sets up the pole for me every time because that's what he's used to doing. He was a guide on a charter boat at Diamond Lake for a number of years, and he's used to getting his dudes all ready to fish and helping them out. And I know how to cast a little bit. I know how to reel in a fish. Done it lots of times. And I can put power bait on a hook. But as far as getting everything set up, ready to go, Paul's always done it for me. So the other day I thought, it's about time I learned a little bit more about how to take care of myself when it comes to fishing. So I asked Paul if he would mind giving me a little lesson on how to put everything together, and he said he'd do it, so that's what we're doing here today.
So here we are, we're going to give it a shot. First thing we're going to do, I took all the line off this reel, so we're going to reload it with line. To tie the line to the spool on the reel, I just put a loop, just a very small loop, and I will put that over the spool, maybe, and I will tighten it and give that a couple of turns and make sure I have the line going the right way so that it will load on the reel, which I don't. So all I do is take it off, and you see if you have it on there wrong, you just twist your line up. We're going to take it off and turn it over. And try that again. I'm not sure I have it. I always keep the line tight between my fingers. So keep that tight between your fingers. Hold your hand up here like this.
Okay.
And now reel.
Okay, now can I hold on here?
No, you have to keep that tight.
Okay.
When you're loading the reel, you want to keep that line tight going onto the reel. Okay, you just reel and I'll keep tension on it. Just reel. Hold the pole up and reel a little bit. And now when you're putting the line on a reel, if you stop reeling and lower your pole down, if you get it all curled like that, it means that your line's being twisted as you're putting it on a reel. So we're going to put a pencil in here. Go ahead and reel. And let it come straight off the spool like that onto the reel. And I'll put a little tension on it so that it's tight on the reel.
Faster.
Go ahead. We're going to fill the reel up with 8-pound line, 8-pound test line. You have to watch the reel. When it's full, you stop reeling.
When will it be full? When it's clear to the edge there?
Pretty
Like
much.
Not
all the way, but most of the way.
like a spool of sewing thread?
Mm-hmm.
Like a bobbin? How's that? More?
Yeah, that looks pretty good. Reel a couple more turns. Okay, so we have our reel loaded with line. So I'm going to cut it here. Okay, open the bail. Don't let a bunch out. And we're going to thread it through the eyes of the pole here. Close the bail on the reel. Okay, now you can set the pole down. And what we're going to do is our first step, take the line, is going to, you can just throw that away, is going to be to set this up for fishing with power bait or a night crawler. Various things you can do with this. And what I always do is tie on some sort of a snap swivel. And I like to use a Polymer knot, which you put the end of the line through the eye of the swivel.
Twice.
Then you come back through the eye of the swivel. So basically it looks like this. And then it's a simple overhand knot. I like this knot because it retains between 95 and 97% of the line's strength when you're fighting a fish. Then you have your overhand loop, and you put your lure, or in this case a swivel, through that loop. Get your line all scooted down there, and then you pull it tight. And before you pull a knot tight on most of these monofilament lines, you want to be sure and get it wet because it will melt as you pull that tight. Okay, so what we've done is we've got this all set up, and Diane can go fishing down on the river. I didn't do it right. Anyway. And all she has to do is put a lure on there.
You have a rooster tail?
Any kind of a lure you want. We have rooster tails.
That's my favorite.
And depending on how heavy a current you're using or whatever, you can use any different size of rooster tail on there. How come it's not on there?
I don't know how to do it. Is it right?
Okay. To put the rooster tail on,
Right here?
to put the rooster tail on, you open the snap swivel, and then you take the eye of the rooster tail and put it on your snap swivel, and it's ready to go fishing. And we'll take the rooster tail off. This is a little Cleo lure, and it's the same thing. You open the snap swivel, put your little Cleo on there, I know it's open. And it's ready to go. And the little Cleos also come in various sizes. This is actually a Castmaster. And a little Cleo wobbler and a bigger one.
So you set up your leader, you always have some leaders set up with that snap swivel ready to go?
Nope,
No?
that's your main line.
Okay.
That's your main line and goes right to your reel. So the other thing that we do a lot of, and I'm going to take the little Clio off. You can take your snap swivel, and we do this quite often actually out at the lake. We'll put a bell weight on there, and then in this little box here, I've got pre-tied leaders. Remember, we have 8-pound line. We have 8-pound line on our main line, so our pre-tied leaders are pre-tied. This one's about 4 feet long with 4 pound. And it's got a swivel on one end and a size 6 hook on the other end. We'll put that in the swivel, the snap swivel.
Now, what would be the situation where you would choose that?
Okay, and this is the type of setup where if you're sitting in the boat and you just want to take and drop your line over the side of the boat with a night crawler on it, it's ready to go. So anyway, that's how we would do it with a night crawler.
Which I maybe wouldn't be doing that if I was alone.
Yeah.
Because I need someone else to do the night crawlers for me. They're a little too, I don't know, I don't like to take them.
So we're going to take the bell weight off and the leader with the hook on it. We're going to take that off. I use pipe insulation for the leaders and hooks. So what we're going to do now is cut that snap swivel off. And we're going to set this up for either power bait fishing or night crawler fishing. And the way we do that, we slide, we have a slip weight. We'll slide our line through the slip weight so it'll slide up and down the line. You'll notice I always tie a snap swivel on. Here you go, put your pole down. You can tie it on.
Okay.
Do you remember how?
Nope.
No.
Let's see. So did you get one out?
Yeah, right here.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I go through here, right?
Yep.
And then I go back. Do I go through again the same way?
No, you have to go back to another different way.
Okay.
Go back through.
Is that through?
I don't know. I'm not doing it, you are.
You can see why Paul likes to get it all set up for me. He wants to get fishing, not be fooling around with rookies.
Not that way. You have to go back through the way you came out.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, now what do I do?
So now get yourself a nice little loop there. Don't lose
Okay.
the end of your line over there.
I think I got it. I got both ends.
You have to let go. Okay, so you can see how snap swivel's on the line now. Okay, now you're going to tie an overhand knot. Here,
Where?
you got to leave your
Just here?
right there.
Okay. A granny knot. Okay. There. Pull it tight.
Tighten it up a little. Then you have to put this through that loop.
This through here.
You put this through there.
Yeah. Okay. Like that.
No, 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 not through there. I didn't point
Through
there.
here?
Yeah.
Okay. Like over, like through there.
No, go
Under?
up and under. You see why I usually do everything like this. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Now tighten it just a little bit. Just a little bit. Is that thing up through there where it's supposed to be?
I thought so.
Okay, let me see. No,
No.
it's got to go up through here.
Yeah. I thought I did that. Okay.
Okay, now it's up through there. Now tighten it just a little
Just
bit.
a
Hold
little
on to
bit.
this.
Okay.
Let go of the line. Tighten it just a little bit.
Let go
Okay,
of this?
now. No.
Okay.
Okay, now make sure that this line is down off that swivel. Now get it wet. Yeah, you have to get it wet. That's where you get it wet.
Okay.
Now you can tighten it. And that's a Palomar knot.
It's not.
You got two pieces of line here.
I gotta pull both of them.
You got this one,
Yeah.
which is called the tag end. And then you got the end that goes to your pole.
Okay.
Okay, so now the knot's tight.
Okay.
Okay. So let go.
I think it's gonna
You
take
see
a little
how-
practice.
You see how that line is down around
Yeah.
the end of the,
Yeah.
yeah, well,
It's not right.
no, that makes your knot weak.
Okay.
Okay, so now the knot's set. So then you take your scissors and you want to make sure you cut off the tag end and not your main line.
So this.
Okay. So now we have the pole set up. This is called a duo lock on here. You have your pole all set up with the slip weight on the line. It'll slide up and down the line. And what you can do from here, undo the duo lock thing, and you can take and put a worm hook on there. You have to make sure everything's clipped up. If it isn't official, break it right off. Okay. Now you can take this hook, put a marshmallow on there, a mini marshmallow, and put a night crawler underneath the mini marshmallow and cast this out into the lake or wherever you're fishing, and the marshmallow will float your night crawler up that far off the bottom.
So
Or-
when you put the marshmallow on, you put it over the hook and then you
You put it on the
push
hook.
it up above the hook?
You just push it up above the hook on the line.
Yeah,
And
okay.
thread your night
Give room
crawler
to
on
put
there.
the worm on.
Okay, so we're going to put him back away. We'll put that in there, and we're going to try to get treble hook out of there that's set up to put power bait on. So we can take the same rig, just take our night crawler off. As you know, if you fish at all, power bait floats.
Now, how long of leader do you usually use for power bait or for anything?
However long it is when I get done with it.
Okay.
I usually,
Like a foot? No, 2 feet.
this is about
Maybe.
2 feet. I have leaders and I start out with usually 3 feet. And if you break one off or something happens to the hook, you just cut the hook off and tie another one on. And then when they get too short, you go ahead and throw those in the bottom of the boat, cut the hook off and tie the hook on and make a new leader 3 feet long or 4 feet long. But anyway, now we've got our weight here, and our power bait will float up. And when a fish bites it, the line slides through the weight so you can see the fish biting. So this is all set up right now for power bait. So we've done lures and night crawlers and now power bait. And we're going to go ahead and put it away. I got to do something with this reel first.
You know, whenever we're out fishing, fooling with changes like this and cutting line, we always want to be careful about throwing that in the water. You know, be responsible, because the other day we were out at Lava Lake and Dayton caught a rainbow trout. It had line wrapped around its body and kind of cutting into it. Had been there a while. It's kind of a sad thing, and you know, it just got tangled up in some line. Sometimes we don't do that on purpose, you know, sometimes it's accidental, but we just want to be extra careful about that.
Yeah, don't throw your garbage in the lake. That's pretty much how we set it up. The other thing that my fishing crew needs to learn how to do when they go fishing, we're getting them trained to drive the boat, just in case I don't feel like driving the boat that day.
Dayton's getting really good at it.
But the other thing we need to do with our fishing crew is, my neighbor, we give them fish quite often. So he bought me this beautiful fillet knife. So when we get home, everybody that I've gone fishing with kind of disappears because none of them can fillet a fish.
Well, none of us can do it as well as the
so
pro here.
So I do the filleting and get them all ready to eat and stuff, because we do eat a lot of the fish that we catch. Fry them up and bake them and smoke them and do lots of different things with them. But the next thing we need to have a lessons on are filleting fish. So I thought I'd remind Diane of that while she's standing here wanting to learn about fishing.
I've cleaned a lot of fish, but since I hooked up with this guy who was a professional fishing guide, he's pretty quick. No reason for me to fumble around with it, but I tell you what, I know how to fry them.
Yeah, we took the neighbor's grandson fishing the other day, and he watched me fillet him and commented about how smooth I was with that knife. Yeah, I've done a lot of them, but we fillet pretty much everything that we catch, except for if the trout are real small, we'll go ahead and just gut them and fry them whole. But most people like to have the bones filleted out of them. So this one's all ready to go
Okay.
on a fishing trip.
Well, I'm going to need
Put
some
everything
practice.
away. But
I need some practice with those knots, but I feel like I know a little bit more than I did before we started. I just need practice.
there's your pencil. Yes, Diane needs practice on the knot part. You can see how long it took her to.
It's kind of hard to be motivated to learn all that when I got this guy that's more than willing to do it right and help us out.
Isn't that what we do? Help grannies out when they need help? Okay. So, very good.
Okay. Thank you, Papa.
You're welcome. It was my pleasure.